It was a good trip. I visited my dad and got a couple of things sorted out. Well, dad and mom. And one of the big things is I'm buying them food, right? Because as you get older, apparently, you get grumpier, more stubborn, and you start to just you see things one way. So I, I go back and my sister and I go visit my parents, and I've been buying them food because the guy's he's the shrinking man. He's getting smaller and smaller, and I want to make sure that they have 3 meals a day because I've noticed that they haven't been eating quite well. They're 83, both of them, and so I signed up for a food service. It's called HealthWise, and I buy them 4, which is 2 meals each, so two dinners a week, and it's prepared fresh, flash frozen, and then delivered to them. And they're like hearty beef stew with mashed potatoes and vegetables. I buy them the extra calorie meals so that at least twice a week they have like a good hearty meal. And so I've been doing this for about 7 months. It's not cheap, it's not too expensive, but I thought it's worth doing. And my sister and I went to visit, and I said, well, Dad, how are you enjoying the food that I'm buying you? And his answer was, ah. And there's a problem when your father's answer or my father's answer to something is, ah. Like, what do you mean, ah? How's the food? Have you been trying the food? And he goes, I don't like it. You don't like it, so you've been eating food you don't like? Don't buy it anymore. We don't need any more of that food. Please don't buy any more of that food. My mom's sitting on the couch in the living room of the apartment, and she looks over and she goes, he gave it to the neighbor. What? Shut up! He gave all the food to the neighbor. Stop buying it. It's a waste of money. He's been giving the food to the neighbor who's apparently been eating like a king. One of their neighbors in the apartment. I go, why are you giving the food to the neighbors? I'm buying you this like 2 dinners per week. You're giving it to the neighbors? And he goes, I tried the first one. It's ridiculous. The vegetables weren't even cooked. They were raw. It was horrible. I go, the vegetables weren't. Well, how are you cooking it? Like, what? So I looked in the freezer, and he had one left. He had like a hearty beef stew, mashed potatoes, and vegetables. And I pulled it out of the freezer. And I said, well, it's frozen, Dad. Like, how would you cook it? And he goes, I warmed it up there, but it was no good. It was raw. And I said, well, look at this package and tell me how you cooked it. And he picks up the package and he's looking at it and he's going, I don't know. I put it in there in the oven or the microwave there and I cook it. I go, do you use the oven or the microwave? I don't know. It didn't work. I don't like it. Stop buying them. So I, calmed them down and I said, look at this. There's 2 numbers on this package. One of them says 8 minutes for microwave and one of them says 40 minutes for oven. Did you do it in the oven or the microwave? And my mom, he did it in the microwave, but it was raw. I go, okay, look, let's cook this one together and we'll try it. We'll see if it's that horrible. Here you go, put it in the microwave and cook it. He takes it, he puts it in the microwave, and he starts staring at the microwave, and his jaw drops, and he's like... And to his defense, I said, look, I'll show you how to do it. And I looked at that stupid microwave, and there's like 23 buttons on the microwave. I'm looking at it going, what? There's like 23 selections. I'm trying to find out where do you put the... I was confused for a few seconds, and he's like, see, you don't know how to do it. Like, oh, calm down. So first you have to press cook temperature is set. I said, don't touch that one. That's set. I think it's correct. It's set at 10, which is the default. You have to press this button here. Cook time. Then you have to enter the time. And then you have to hit start. He goes, okay, well, there's cook. So I say, you do it. He goes, cook temperature. No. Cook time. And then he presses 8. And he presses start. And it cooks for 8 seconds. See? It's still frozen. I know. You have to put 8 minutes. Oh, yeah, 8 minutes. Let's try it again. Cook time, 8-0, start. That's 80 seconds. That's 1 minute and 40 seconds, Dan. No, that's 1 minute and 20 seconds. What? What do you mean 1 minute? It said 80. Look at the thing carefully. And it doesn't show up like a regular time. You have to press cook time, and then you have to press 800, and it comes out at 8.00. That's apparently 8 minutes. So I said, this is how you do it. Okay, cook time 800, start. It starts, it's cooking, right? And the little tray is turning. Sometimes they take out the tray because they cook lasagna in the microwave, and it's a rectangular thing. They put the lasagna in there, and it starts turning, and it hits the glass, right? It's going glunk, 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 glunk. So there's a button on there that says stop turntable. But they didn't know there was a button there, so what they do is he takes the actual glass out, and there was a little mechanism that turns the glass, and he ripped that out too. I had to fix that for him. But anyway, so the meal is turning in the microwave, and I said, okay, now we wait, and in 8 minutes it'll be ready. Okay, that's fine. So we're talking, and we're doing some other things, and he said, do you want a coffee? Maybe we'll make a coffee. And a few minutes go by, and after about 3 minutes, he's there, and he's going, what's that noise? What do you mean? What's that noise? I hear a noise. Like we're sitting down on the sofa now having a coffee. There's a noise. What's that noise? It's the microwave. Why is the microwave on? I go, it's the meal we're cooking. The meal, it's been in there forever. You're going to burn the house down. And he runs over there, and there's like 3 minutes left. What the hell? He opens the door. How long do you have to cook these stupid things? Close the door. It's not finished. So we closed the door. And eventually we got the thing cooked for 8 minutes. And I pulled it out, and it's got a plastic top, and then it came out nice and juicy and creamy with the gravy and the mashed potatoes and the vegetables, and I put it on a plate for him, so it wasn't in plastic. It was on a nice plate, and I kind of scooped it all out like that, right? And I said, hey, this is it. And he looked at it, oh, that's not so bad. And he said, this is pretty good. And he liked it. So he's got to learn to cook it for the full amount of time. And I told him, I'm getting you different meals, and you have to look at the package. Some of them are 8 minutes. Some of them are 9 minutes. Some of them were like 9.5 minutes. I don't know how he's going to do that, because 9.5, you have to put in 9.5 instead of 9:30. I don't know. It's a stupid microwave, but he was. I hope that works out, and I hope he can figure it out. But he was a little depressed because he's gone through. It's been a bad 6 months. He's had 2 brothers that passed away in the past year, and so he's been going to funerals, and it's been tough on the guy, right? He's one of the he comes from a family of 11, and I think there's 3 of them left now, him and 2 sisters. He was the youngest brother, and he had to go to his last brother's funeral, and that's really tough. It's just, but he goes to the funeral. And he was depressed after the funeral, because after the funeral, all the cousins and everyone else that was there were saying, "Oh boy, he's looking pretty, like he's kind of going downhill. He was shuffling around, looking pretty immobile. I hope he's okay." And my sister and I said, "Well, no, he wasn't immobile. It was his shoe, and he was upset. He was a fucking shoe. Everyone thinks I'm crippled now and immobile. It was the shoe." And he's pissed off because of his shoe, because he owns 1 suit. He got rid of all his other suits. He only has 1 black suit and 1 black pair of shoes left. He's got rid of everything else, because if there's anything else in the closet, it bothers him. He's trying to get my mother to get rid of the stuff, and they're in a little apartment now, and they finally have a walk-in closet. My mom's she's a little aside, she's wanted a walk-in closet forever. She's finally got a walk-in closet, so she has her dresses and her outfits in the walk-in closet. And when she leaves the door open from the bed, you can see the walk-in closet. And my dad's always like, what is all that stuff? Why don't you clean that out? Get rid of all that stuff. What? And she's going, that's my stuff. He goes, you only wear 2 or 3 things. What do you need all those for? What are we going to do with all those? And she's like, is it going to bother you? Just leave them there. Well, they're there all the time. Every time I walk through there, I have to look at all those clothes. Can't we clean that out? And it bothers him that there's something there in the closet, because he sees it. And he's like, well, why is it there? No one's using it. Can't we get rid of it? He's like a constant. He threw away all my hockey cards, but that's a different story. Anyways, he's only got 1 black suit and 1 pair of black shoes. And he went to his brother's funeral. And he had the black shoes on, and one of the black shoes, for whatever reason, the sole of the shoe came off. So when he was walking, his right foot would go flop, 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 flop. And so instead, he didn't felt embarrassed that his shoe was going flop, 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 flop when he was walking. So he shuffled. And so people thought, oh boy, he's not looking too good these days, right? It's fucking shoe. So my sister and I go, well, we can get it fixed. We'll just get some glue and we'll glue the sole on, or we'll buy you some new black shoes. He goes, don't bother fixing it. I don't need any black shoes. Well, Dad, if you can't wear them anymore because they flop, we'll get some glue and fix it. And he says, just forget about it. They're all dead. There's not going to be any more funerals. I'm not wearing them anymore. The next time I wear them, it's going to be my funeral. And I won't be walking around. I'll be laying down. So okay, he said he doesn't want to fix the shoes. But that was why he was upset, was because his shoe was flopping and he had to shuffle during the funeral. And he left a bad impression. This was my trip, guys. This was my trip. I went to, God bless them, the most amazing parents that anyone could ask for, and they're just they're hanging in there and fighting, guys. They're fighting to the bitter end. So hopefully they learn how to use them. And I showed my mom too. So now she's quarterbacking. She's a little bit immobile. She's has to use a walker and a wheelchair. So she lets my dad do the preparation and stuff. But I showed her. And I said, when you pull the meal out, show it to Mom, because she's got a mind like a steel trap still, and she'll see 8 minutes. And then when when he puts it in there and he presses start, she'll know. And if he pulls it out in 2 minutes, she'll go, it's not enough. It said 8 minutes. And he'll go, the vegetables are raw. I hate this. Let me give it to the neighbor. That's just, that's the way it is. But I'm back. And it was a wonderful visit. And yeah. So hey, we haven't chatted for a while, so I thought I'd share this with you guys. Stay safe, stay happy. Call your mom or call your dad, and talk to them, because life is short, and then you fucking die. That's. I will catch you guys on the next one.